For Billy Napier to continue being Florida's head coach, he needs DJ Lagway. But what is the status of DJ Lagway? Brandon Olson of Locked On Gators is here to discuss that very thing. Got dinged up a bit last year, Brandon, and now spring football is underway in Gainesville, and DJ Lagway is not 100%?
Yeah, yesterday during Billy Napier's, I guess we'll call it an introductory press conference that he does at the beginning of every spring camp, he was like, hey, DJ Lagway, not going to be a full participant right now. He's got an upper body issue and a lower body issue, which, I mean, if you've watched Locked On Gators during the season, you know that from the moment DJ Lagway got hurt against Georgia to all of the weird injury adjustments, I guess we'll say, that it was at halftime of the Georgia game. Yeah, it was a significant injury. Couple days later, it's not as bad as we thought. A few days later, it's actually a bone bruise. He might play this weekend. Who knows what's going to happen? I just never bought it. It always seemed like a very inconsistent story. And then the remainder of the season that DJ Lagway did play was clearly not as mobile as he was prior to the injury. It was always bothering him. And so to me, I think the lower body is more just the repercussions of that or still dealing with that. The upper body, we don't know exactly what it is right now, but I will say that Billy Napier didn't sound like he was too concerned with it. He was kind of just like, hey, he's not going to be full go at the start of camp. That's fine. Billy Napier ran through a long list of injuries, and most of them were from last season, just players still recovering.
So when I look at the SEC quarterback situation, Brandon, a lot of new faces everywhere you look. DJ Lagway is actually one of the more veteran quarterbacks in this conference, which is amazing because he hasn't ever started a full season of games, but neither has, anybody else pretty much. I think the best quarterbacks in the league, Garrett Nussmeier at LSU first because he's the most proven commodity. That one I think is clear. After that, you can only go in about 17 different directions for how you want to order, probably more, for how you want to rank SEC quarterbacks. Lenora Sellers is really good. And can he take the next step forward as a passer? Can Nico do the same thing at Tennessee? DJ Lagway, when healthy, has been really, really good. But, something that I wonder about with the injury situation here is I wonder if this almost doesn't give Billy Napier some air cover. If Lagway goes into the season healthy but then gets dinged up, can't Billy Napier go to Scott Strickland, the athletic director, and say, hey, it wasn't my fault. My quarterback got hurt. I mean, look, who could have won without their starting quarterback in the mighty SEC? Am I being too optimistic for Coach Billy there?
I don't think it's being too optimistic. I just think that we've passed the point where you get that excuse. In 2024, it was, hey, Graham's going to be our starter. DJ's going to rotate in. Graham got hurt against Tennessee. Then DJ got the starts the rest of the way, and DJ got hurt. And your QB3 was let me see if I still remember how. I haven't done this in a while. A redshirt freshman transfer walk-on quarterback from Yale.
Yale.
That was your
Go
QB3.
Bulldogs.
Yeah, and my issue is always there is no world where that's acceptable quarterback depth. But the reason that Florida's quarterback depth has been in the position that it's been in has been because of Billy Napier. Whether it's missing an eval on a transfer quarterback like Jack Miller III out of Ohio State a couple years ago, or not bringing in high school quarterbacks, whatever it may be, Florida's quarterback depth was in their situation because of Billy Napier. This year, I do think it's a lot better. You brought in Harrison Bailey from Louisville. Prior to that, he was at UNLV. Prior to that, he was at Tennessee. Prior to that, he was a 4-star quarterback coming out of high school. But you brought him in. Good bowl game against Washington. I like how he operated there. I think that he can, at the very least, keep the offense on schedule. And I think that that's all you can truly ask for from a backup quarterback. I don't think it's reasonable to ask for anything else. But Billy Napier's also done a tremendous job building out the rest of this roster. I've said it before, I think Florida has a college football playoff caliber roster. coaching needs to catch up to the talent at some point, though. And I think
maybe the schedule not be the gauntlet of all gauntlets in the SEC. But, after this year, it should rotate around and it should be more favorable if Billy Napier can survive it, of course. But, if healthy, I think DJ Lagway has top 3 or 4 quarterback in the SEC sort of talent and has shown that he can produce at that level. But nobody does it on their own. And Brandon, here on the show, I've been on a mission to find every team's most important transfer that has to pop for the team to have the sort of season that they want to. I'm going to an old Pac-12 guy here in J. Michael Sturdivant for Florida. That's where my mind goes, because you bring him in at wide receiver. The last Pac-12 wide receiver you brought in, Elijah Badger, seemed like that worked out pretty well. Is this a rinse and repeat, and is that where you would go for Florida's most important transfer?
It is where I'd go for Florida's most important transfer. Also, the Pac-12 receiver they brought in before that was pretty damn good too, and Ricky Pearsall, first-round pick. So they've had a fantastic job there. I will also say that J. Michael Sturdivant has.
What are they going to do now that the Pac-12, for all intents and purposes, is done? Who are they going? They going to grab someone from Washington State?
Just go former Pac-12 schools. That's it. J. Michael Sturdivant played for Cal, Pac-12, now ACC, UCLA. Pac-12, now Big Ten, and then now he's coming to the SEC because he wants to actually play big boy football. And so that's what he's doing. How do you like that one, Spencer? Yeah, that one.
I'm going to let it slide.
For all those squad recordings I have to sit through, that's what you get for that one. But J. Michael Sturdivant, 6'3", 214 pounds is what Billy Napier said he measured in at yesterday for spring camp. Hit 23 miles per hour on the GPS timing. A big receiver that can get vertical. And I think that for a guy like DJ Lagway, that's what you need. And it's not because he's inaccurate or anything like that, but you need a guy where you can say, hey, DJ, throw it to that receiver with a huge catch radius and just let him make plays. You like to be aggressive. Do it with the 6'3", 23 mile per hour guy. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think J. Michael Sturdivant was a fantastic addition out of the transfer portal. I was very excited for him. And even if Florida had landed some of the other guys that they were targeting in the portal, I still think J. Michael Sturdivant would have been the best one.
Eugene Wilson is back there as well. You've got 5-star wide receiver Dallas Wilson coming in 2025. Do you think he has a role on this receiving core, or do you think he's someone that'll have to wait for a bit?
I think Dallas steps in as the immediate number 2 as the X receiver behind J. Michael Sturdivant.
The number 2 right away.
As in at that receiver.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying number 2 wide. I'm like, oh boy. No, he's a talented kid and all, but man, that'd be a lot.
I'd say that would leave him at 4th or 5th. Okay, overall. But I think it'll be J. Michael Sturdivant's immediate backup at the X receiver spot. I think that he's got elite size, speed, and he's a damn good receiver. Like, he's a dog. You ever watch his film? They had there was that one clip. I think he was at like 7-on-7 camp. And a corner lines up against him, and the corner just goes, I don't fear you, I fear God. And Dallas goes, I don't give a damn what you fear. And then just goes and balls on him. And it's stuff like that where, like, that's the attitude I want at corner and at a receiver. And I feel like Dallas Wilson has that true alpha mentality on the outside. And so I think that he'll be an early contributor. He also was a recipient of a black jersey, which for Florida during these spring camps prior to spring ball, that signifies that you're exceeding your expectations and workouts, and you're doing a great job there. And so for Dallas to get that right away, good sign for Florida.